Thanks for joining another TroutFreak video. Today we're going to be tying on a stimulator fly pattern. This particular version has worked very well for me, and I hope it works out for you. So in the vise today, what we got is a size 8 dry fly hook. I'm going to be using a 12-aught black wax thread by Semperfli. And to get things started, all we're going to be doing is starting our thread about 2 hook eye length away, because I actually use this as my measuring point. This is where I like sort of the head, that cone-shaped head of my stimulators to start, and I use that as a guide. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work my way back. Just to about that hook point. And I'm going to be using some deer hair, which I have pre-stacked here. And we're going to want it, these can be changed up to whatever distance you want, but I like them pretty short. And I'm just going to do some loose wraps. And then some really big candy cane shaped spirals to just get it in place. And now on my way back, I'll start securing it to the hook. Once it's secure, you can nip off the ends. And because I don't like my tails to flare out too much, you just do some loose wraps near the end. And you can do one sort of sweeping motion underneath. And that'll help keep it flat. And again, looser wraps, and now as you work your way back to even out the body, you can crank down and secure it in. And grab your tweezers and just clean up any rogue fibers. And now this is where you want to take the time to just make sure your body's nice and even throughout. Now we're going to be tying in our dry fly hackle. Today I'm going to be using this Grizzly Brown by Whiting Farms. So make sure you pre-strip the tip. And on an angle you can tie in that stem. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to work my way back back to the front and stop just about where I want, again, that cone-shaped head to begin. That looks about right there. And for the body, I'm actually going to be using a nice blue floss. So you want to grab a healthy amount here. I find with this stuff, the more you grab, it's just a little bit easier to work with. When it's too short, it becomes a nightmare. And I'm just going to secure that in. Just going to nip off that end. And why I like to start at the front is because with the floss, I like to just maintain that rich color throughout. So I'm actually going to be going back and then back to the front again. So just flatten out your floss, and now you can start doing your wraps. So I think I'm doing maybe just like some barely touching wraps here. The first rounds going back is more just to get it going. The second one is what really counts, and you can start to see that color gets a lot more richer, a lot more consistent. And if I notice any sort of unevenness on the body, you can fix it up now. Now I'm just gonna secure that in. I'm going to work my way back a little bit so that I have room here for the head of the fly. And now we can start coloring our hackle. So I like to do one full wrap right by the tail, and then just nice evenly spaced wraps moving your way to the front. Secure that in. Nip off the end. Got a rogue strand here that's bugging me. So now we're ready for some more deer hair. For the wings, you You could give it a mohawk. I'm gonna leave it. I like mine to be standing up really, really high. And I'm gonna grab about that much of the deer hair. Now holding the tips pretty firm, you're going to want to brush out all the under fur. I'm going to do it away from my fly so that all this fur doesn't get stuck on my fly. Once it's brushed out, you're going to put it in your stacker. Like so. So it tips down. And then I'll give it about 476 taps. Now I don't know how much it is, but I just want to make sure that those tips are nice and aligned, like so. Now with one swoop, grab them and pull them up. Just going to switch hands here. And now you can sort of see how far you want them. If you want them back here, if you want them here. I'm going to keep them about the same length of the body. Just going to put that there. And what you're going to do here is just 1 to 2 loose wraps and give it a pull. I'll do another 2, pull, another 1, pull. So with each one, you're giving a little bit more tension. This is actually a great fly to learn how much tension you can pull on each side of thread. I've broken many a thread. And then what I'll do is I'll pull some back, secure them in, pull them back, secure some in, and just helps make the wings very durable. And secure. So now find all those ones, grab them, snip them off. Now I'm just going to start building up my head, and also helps just securing down those deer hairs even more. I'm going to have a nice cone shape at the end of the day. Now this is the time where I'll come up and just clean up anything that I want. If there's any stray fibers, I'll come in now and clean it up. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with a little bit of black UV floss, just because I really like the look of this. It's a little bit shinier and nicer than my thread, even though that it is black as well. put that on an angle. I'm going to tie that one in. And I'm just going to give it a little pull here to make sure it's not too in the way. I'm going to grab the same hackle. Just going to nip off the ends here. I'm actually going to tie that on the other side. Nice and secure. You're going to grab your floss. Start wrapping that. Nice touching wraps. Back. Now you're going to grab your hackle. You can see this one doesn't want to wrap with the nice shiny side facing the front of the fly. So sometimes if you can manipulate the stem, it'll start wrapping the way you want it to. In this case, this one is not. So I'm actually going to just wrap it the way it wants to go. So I'll do a nice full turn back. And then these wraps, I put them a little bit tighter than what I did on the body. That way just the head's nice and full. And secure that down. Don't worry too much about trapping fibers like I did here. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen almost all the time. Nip that off once you have it secured. And I'll come back and I'll pull everything back. And start building my cone, my little tiny head here. And that looks good. So I'm just gonna grab my whip finish. Pull everything back out of the way. And now come in here and do your spot checks. You can pull out any stray fibers. This is where the tweezers come in really handy for me and on most of the dry flies that I tie. See, I don't like these two. It's more for me. Any fly that I can clean up and make nice just gives me confidence when on the water and makes me fish better. And there you have it, folks. There's one stimulator fly pattern. Thanks for watching. Hope you tune into the next video. Cheers.